Millie Sauber.
And I'm Jeff Stonick. Welcome to this week's edition of the Butler Beat.
Today's stories include registration, Hinkle renovations, and students' recognition.
As the semester draws to a close, students find themselves in the middle of registration. Bryn Erdy connected with how students and advisors feel the process went.
Many students who have already registered for classes feel the process went smoothly.
Yeah, I did. I got in all the classes I needed to.
Others who are in the middle of it disagree, feeling frustrated and annoyed.
I didn't really think that the scheduling process was going to be that stressful after having such a smooth advising appointment, but I thought wrong.
While some students feel forgotten, advisors feel differently about registration.
Yeah, I don't know if there's necessarily a problem to solve. I think sometimes what happens is students don't realize that, just because a class is closed doesn't always mean that it's completely full. And so they always should contact, the instructor to ask if there's room. Now, there's not always room, and so hopefully people will be, respectful of that when asking, but there's certainly no harm in asking an instructor, do you have room for one more in your class?
But some students think the different colleges and even different majors affect the difficulty of registration.
It's a lot of frustration, especially in the Stratcom area. I was able to get into my psychology class okay for the semester, but I had 3 Stratcom classes that I absolutely needed to take, or so I thought initially, and I was unable to get into those.
And for those feeling the pinch, they found some loopholes to avoid getting closed out of their classes.
I've had older guys hold classes for me, so if they have an earlier appointment date, they can sign up for classes, and then whenever my enrollment date comes around, they just drop the class and I can pick it up. Yeah, I've cheated the system a couple times, but that's what it takes.
Or they've reached out to the administration for some permission numbers and help.
I made an appointment with the department head of the Stratcom major and met with her and was determined to figure things out.
With some improvements made to registration over the years and personal experience with advising, Dr. Armstrong believes he has good advice to help ease some registration frustration.
But I've found when students, plan appropriately and take the appropriate courses all along, it works out just fine.
For the Butler Beat, I'm Bryn Erdy.
Winter storms formed many potholes, which have recently been fixed. However, the potholes were merely the calm before the construction storm. Jeff Stonick has the forecast for Sunset Avenue's future.
Big changes are coming to Sunset Avenue, but not without a lot of construction, which is a familiar sight at Butler University. Workers have already started construction on a streetscape project that will split the road in two with a grass median in between. While it won't exactly be identical, this grass median right in the middle of Meridian Street near Westfield Boulevard is something what Sunset Avenue will look like once the streetscape project is finished. Current construction is to relocate some utility lines near the health and recreation complex, but the big push will begin after graduation in May. Executive Director of Facilities Rich Michael says the construction will all be worth it once it is completed.
We're blessed with a beautiful campus, but just right now, the way you can tell you're approaching campus is when you see cars parked on both sides of the street. So it'll be more aesthetically pleasing with the landscaping. It'll be safer, with the traffic calming and the dedicated bike lanes.
The project is expected to be finished by the end of 2014, which will cause a whole semester of traffic issues. But that's not the only issue, and Michael says people should really focus on all the pros, not the cons.
Well, the cons, we're going to lose some on-street parking. That's a good thing, and it looks better and it's safer, but, as you know, we have capacity issues when it comes to large events.
Greek residents and commuters will be the largest group of drivers affected, and Michael says they will look at solutions to that problem. Until the project is complete, members of the Butler community can expect many closures along Sunset Avenue for extended periods of time. For the Butler Beat, I'm Jeff Stonick. Apart from the roads, the construction workers have taken over Hinkle Fieldhouse now that basketball season is over. Sophie McEnone has a story.
Construction workers are tearing apart the inside of Hinkle to begin the final renovations of the campaign for Hinkle Fieldhouse. Within the locked doors of the facility lie dusty floors and empty offices. While some offices were completely demolished, others have moved outdoors into pods while the old workspaces are redone. All the renovations are making the staff members and coaches a bit disorganized.
It's a little hairy from time to time with just trying to get stuff done and to know where everybody is within the building. But the current setup that we have right here for a lot of our administrators and staff has worked out really well.
The walls of the Wildman Room have been stripped down in order to expand the suite. Also, seats surrounding the main court are being replaced with new chairback seats to create a fan-friendly experience.
While some renovations are just getting started, others are just being finished.
New equipment has finally made its way into the renovated weight room. The new room will provide athletes with more space and materials for strengthening and conditioning.
Basically, it's the same setup that we had. It'll just allow us to do things a little bit better because it's a little bit bigger space. We'll be able to get more teams, just be more efficient with what we do.
The new academic center and sports medicine center are still under construction. According to the signs covering the doors, Hinkle will be closed for the public until October 24th. For the Butler Beat, I'm Sophie McEnon.
While the Hinkle doors are closed, the doors of Clues and Robertson Halls are open for Butler's Arts Fest this month. Sam DeCline has the details.
The Butler Arts Fest is back on campus. This year's theme is Fables, Fairy Tales, and Physics. The main 10 days wrapped up on April 13th. It featured visual arts ranging from digitally produced to watercolors and had performances involving professional musicians as well as Butler students.
It was fantastic. They brought in a Grammy-nominated jazz artist named Donnie McCaslin who did 6 or 7 hours of clinics and rehearsals with us. We rehearsed a whole bunch of his tunes and put on a pretty cool show and did a lot of work with us. And then in a month or so, he's actually coming back and we're going to do an album with him.
Being around a notable musician gave the jazz ensemble a chance for some unique experiences.
Arts Fest was pretty fun. Got to play basketball with Donnie McCaslin, so that was definitely an experience.
Arts Fest is a big event for the Jordan College of Arts, and the time leading up to the events was hard work for the students.
I mean, it was just challenging in different ways, so it kind of, that's why we're here. We're students, we want to learn, so kind of Arts Fest gave us a new medium to develop some different kind of skills that are turned out, I think, pretty cool.
While a lot of events were placed here, the Schrott Center, there were also other events all over campus.
There were performances at Clues Halls and in Robertson Hall. The first weekend wrapped up with the Blind Boys of Alabama and My Brightest Diamond concert on the 13th, and the encore weekend starts on April 25th. For the Butler Beat, I'm Sam DeCline.
Along with the tradition of Arts Fest, Butler continued its streak by hosting Relay for Life in the HRC last Friday, which raised more than $50,000. Joe Buzel covered the event.
Relay for Life is an event that happens on campus each year where students, families, and friends raise money for the American Cancer Society. This year's theme is The Amazing Race. Various organizations and groups on campus are able to start Relay for Life teams, with the squads that end up raising the most money receiving special recognition each year. Going into Friday, Team Dog Walkers, a team made up of Butler faculty, had already raised over $10,000, the most of all participants. Relay for Life board member Jennifer Clementi loves volunteering for the event for several reasons.
To help end the fight of cancer and to raise awareness and to help all the others fight the good fight.
Relay for Life night always promises to be a late one, as the event runs from 6 in the evening until 6 in the morning. There's a different game or theme for each hour. This is based on a specific sound from the DJ booth, as Butler Colleges Against Cancer president Adam Davis explained to the crowd.
Then that means we're going to have an announcement to make, so if you could make your way over to the podium, or we'll have some sort of activity or game, so be looking out for that throughout the night.
Participants bring various activities and set up campsites to make themselves comfortable for the long night. Someone from each team must be walking on the upstairs track at all points of the night. The opening ceremony is kicked off at 6, Butler President James Danko even getting in on the action. Danko is an enthusiastic participant at the event each year, and this one is no different.
Folks that have been so instrumental in getting to this point. It's been great for me. This is my third year kind of out here with you folks to welcome you. I am so proud of the efforts that happen across our campus community to make this event come together.
Relay for Life events are generally held outside across the country, but due to bad weather that has plagued Butler in the past, the event now takes place indoors each year. For the Butler Beat, I'm Joe Buzel.
Social Justice Week is also held annually and is designed to spread awareness about lesser-known world problems. Tom Budnick reports on this year's mission.
Every year, Crew, a Christian group on Butler's campus, puts together Social Justice Week. They use events like concerts at Starbucks to raise money and awareness for sex trafficking prevention. Casey Schreiner was the MC for the night and explains what exactly the money goes towards.
Well, the whole week is about is Social Justice Week, and we are raising money for the International Justice Mission to create awareness about human trafficking and also to fight it in tangible ways. And so tonight is just a fundraiser for them.
The International Justice Mission is to stop and prevent all abuse worldwide. Any students were welcome to perform for the crowd. Crew used this pharmacy building to house many people to watch the documentary Nefarious to better explain the troubles of social injustice. Nefarious is a documentary that gives real-life examples of this abuse. Michael Elsasser helped put on the night.
Blatantly just the sale of women, which is slavery. So yeah, we just wanted to raise awareness for that and just to bring that into the light because it's not something that we often talk about. It's not even something that's well known. It's just kind of done in the shadows, and we just wanted to bring that into the light and just give a voice to those women.
Students packed into the large room to listen to the different stories. For the Butler Beat, I'm Tom Budnick.
The Butler community took part in a new kind of philanthropy event this week. Alpha Chi Omega hosted a Walk a Mile in Her Shoes, which is a 1-mile walk that took place along Hampton Drive. The walk raised more than $800 for local domestic violence shelters.
From what I understood, it was awareness of domestic violence, and that really, it struck home to me because I have a sister and a mom as well who I care for and stuff, and so I never want to see anything like that happen to them. So.
The twist about the walk is that all who participated had to wear high heels, including the men.
Besides domestic violence, Peers Advocating Wellness for Students, or PAWS, wants to educate Butler on numerous topics. Elise Giacobbe has the details.
Butler University's PAWS group is celebrating Sexual Assault Awareness Month this April. The group organized a sex communication talk on April 7th for all students to attend. The talk discussed how to handle certain situations, helpful tips, and more.
I thought it was really interesting and informational. The speakers were very knowledgeable and they gave us a ton of free stuff.
Sarah Diaz, the coordinator for health education and outreach programs, was one of the main speakers for the program. She feels it helps students in several ways.
Well, I think it gives students an opportunity to hear from their peers about something that they might not necessarily talk about quite as openly. Outside of like their small group of friends who might be making really similar choices to themselves or might not necessarily. But I think this type of a program allows them an opportunity to hear from some faculty and staff.
The students attending had involvement through texting in their thoughts on certain sex topics. This provided answers for the speakers to discuss through an anonymous way. The program offered free goodies and pizza for those who joined the talk.
At the health services inside of the HRC, students can also get free sex supplies whenever they need them. I'm Elise Giacobbe for the Butler Beat.
Apart from raising awareness on campus, there are multiple occasions for recognition. The Order of Omega hosted an awards ceremony to celebrate the various Greek houses on campus. Hannah Somerville has a story.
Every year, the Order of Omega recognizes outstanding chapters with various awards including philanthropy, leadership, and scholarship. This year, Butler University's Greek Excellence Awards were held in the Riley Room. Members of the fraternities and sororities were invited to attend and represent their specific chapters. For freshman Jack Boudreau, he thinks these awards are a great way to keep each chapter motivated.
It gives them also a reason for fraternities and sororities to kind of get competitive with one another, to continue to excel in their extracurriculars and their academics, and other things involving campus life. And it's just a great way to get people to continually have that energy and to have that excitement about being part of the fraternity or sorority.
Doctors have the opportunity to apply for the various awards and submit them to the Order of Omega Executive Committee. If fraternities and sororities apply and are nominated for the award, they receive a plaque like this. Junior Steve Kelly thinks the awards are a good way to show diversity within the Greek community.
Well, I think it differentiates one chapter from another. Some houses work really hard in some areas over the course of the year, and it's nice to get recognized for that effort. Not all houses are made the same.
This year, over 22 awards were given out, and every chapter on campus received at least one. For the Butler Beat, I'm Hannah Somerville.
Continuing its winning streak, the Butler Collegian took home 6 awards from the Society of Professional Journalists. Collegian Editor-in-Chief Colin Likas says he is proud of the work the staff has done.
It was a great honor because it shows that we are putting forth a lot of hard work this year, and it's actually paying off. We don't typically win a lot of awards in breaking news or cartooning, so it was nice to receive awards in those categories, and I personally was honored to receive an award for my news writing on a very difficult story to write.
3 of the awards were finalists in their category, and 3 were winners. To continue its award-winning standards, the Collegian staff is voting on a new editor-in-chief this week.
Finally, to add even more awards to Butler students' lists, the winners of the Business School's Zotech competition will be released tonight. Millie Sauber took a closer look at the competition.
Behold the Holcomb Building, which houses the Butler School of Business. Every year, the Real Business Experience, RBE, class is offered to prepare students for the years ahead.
Real life, real business. So essentially, we have the opportunity to create our own business, run our business by creating a product, a service.
Every year, RBE groups design products like this year's cooler, double-chambered water bottle, laptop stickers, stress cubes, and fanny packs, even a Butler pillow pet. Holcomb even has a war room for the groups to plan out their businesses and to meet with their groups. The room even provides storage for products. But why is it called the War Room? The Zotech competition is held annually and allows the RBE groups a chance to battle it out for the best business.
Yeah, so Zotech Partners is the official name of the company, and they are a Carmel-based business. I'm a little bit familiar, I guess, with what they do, but as far as their support for the university, they contribute to a number of different programs. One of them actually being they have their names on Hinkle's floor, on their wood floor. But another thing that they do, which is great, they sponsor the Real Business Experience program here within our College of Business.
First prize in Zotech is $9,000, and Patrick Clark thinks his group has a
I think
shot.
we have an opportunity. I think we really posed the threat today, and we did a great job of really conveying what we've accomplished this semester, and we've generated over $9,000 in revenue, and I think that's an accomplishment that kind of has power within itself. So.
Who knows? Maybe we'll see one of their companies on the stock board in Holcomb someday. For the Butler Beat, I'm Millie Sauber.
Well, that's it for this week's Butler Beat. I'm Jeff Stonick.
And I'm Millie Sauber. And if you're heading home this Easter weekend, make sure you travel safe.
And wherever you are, make sure you don't binge on too much Easter candy.
Have a great week, Bulldogs.